Hey folks, Thumb here. In today's awesome tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make two incredible weaves in Blender. It's super easy, and once you've mastered this standard weave and basket weave, you'll pretty much be able to do whatever weaves you like. It's the same principles. So without further ado, let's dive right into the tutorial. Okay folks, let's start as we always do by opening up Blender, saying hello to the default cube, and then swiftly saying goodbye to the default cube. Hit 7 to go into our overhead view, and then hit Shift-A, add a mesh, and add a plane. Now if you go into edit mode, I want you to right-click, subdivide, right-click, subdivide, right-click, subdivide, and then one more time so it looks like this. Fantastic. Now, I want you to scroll down, making sure you're in face select mode by hitting 3. Scroll down and grab these faces, hold Shift, and do the same on the other side. So these 4 faces. So it should look like 2, 4, 4, 4, 2 with your columns. Great. Now, if we hit Shift D and Z, we can duplicate just those faces on the Z axis. Now, we don't need the bottom face anymore, so you can just delete that. So select any of those faces and then hit L, which will grab all the linked, and then hit X to delete those faces. So now with these faces, what we want to do is basically start maneuvering these so it looks more like an actual, like threads of our weave. So to do that, I am going to grab these 2 faces here, and then on the other side, I say 2, those 8 faces, and these 8 faces here, on this side, you can box select those. Now, we need to make sure that we have proportional editing on this, because when we move them, we want the rest of the geometry to move with them. If I hit G and Z on here and I move it, it looks like this, which isn't what we want. So if you put proportional editing on and then hit G and Z, now when we move it, it all moves together. But we don't want it to move quite so much. So what you can do is you can rotate the scroll wheel, and you'll see now it moves a bit more controlled, just moving the faces around it, which is great. So with that set, we're going to hit G on the Z-axis. So grab it on the Z-axis 10, just to move it up just a little bit, like so. That is great. Now what we can do is grab these faces here and here, and then we're going to grab that on the Z-axis -10. Wonderful. So you end up with this looking like this, because you see what's happening. The weave is starting to come together. So when you use proportional editing, the one thing to watch out for, don't move these edges, because they need to connect. And if they end up shifting too much, they won't connect and it won't look right. But once you have that, we can now grab this and we can hit Shift and D to duplicate it on the Z axis by hitting Z, but then rotate it 90 degrees. And there you have it, the first part of our weave pattern. So if we now take this and we go into our modifiers panel, select that, hit Shift and select the other side, then hit Control J to join them together. So this is now one mesh. Great. Now, if you go into add modifier here and hit generate array, you will see now that it creates an array of these in a line. So you can increase this, you see, and it'll just keep going, or decrease this. I'm just going to do it to 3 for now. And then if we want, and this is basically offsetting on the X, so it just keeps going along the X axis, or across the X axis. Now, or offset on the X axis. Now, if we wanted to go up to create our pattern, we can just add a second array, and you'll see that it kind of is going along again, but we don't want that. So what we can do in here, change this offset to 0, and change the Y to 1. And now we have this pattern. So you see it will offset up there too. And that is it. That is it. Actually, one more step. If we add one more modifier, we generate and add a solidify modifier, we can give this a little extra geometry. So if we want to 3D print this, it'll look real nice. And there you go. You can make this as thick or thin as you want. So that is just a plain standard weave here for, so first weave done. Now let's look at a more complex weave, a basket weave, and how we can put that together. Okay, so now let's make a little bit more of a complex basket weave, showing you how you can use the same principles to make pretty much whatever weaves you want. Let's start by hitting Shift-A, add another mesh, bring that in right here, and then go into tab to go into edit mode, and then right click, subdivide, 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 subdivide. So we're like this again. Great. Now I'm going to hit 7, so I'm kind of straight on here, and then I'm with 3 in face select mode. I am going to grab these faces and these faces, and then I'm going to grab these faces and these faces. So it looks like that. Awesome. Now what I can do, same again, is exactly the same. Shift D to duplicate this on the Z, just bring it up a little bit. Then grab any of those faces and hit L to grab them all, grab all the linked, and X to delete those faces. So we're just left with this. Now, very same as before, pretty much exactly the same as before. We're going to grab these faces and these faces. Then you can grab these and these, and then making sure proportional editing is still on. I'm going to grab them on the Z by 10, just to bring this up a little bit, like so. Now we can do on the other side, grab those, grab those, grab those, grab those, and then grab them on the Z again, but then do -10 to bring them down. And there you go. Got this sort of weave pattern going on again. Now all we have to do, go into object mode, Shift D to duplicate them by rotating them on the Z-axis 90. And now we have this cool basket weave pattern, which looks awesome. And once you bring this all together, as we did before with the array modifier, so we're going to go add, generate an array. You'll see here that it's going, oh, sorry. Yeah, it reminds me. So grab that, and first Control J to make them one object. Now when you go Shift, generate, array, now it will array across the x-axis. Wonderful. Then let's add another array, and then this time put 0 on the x and then 1 on the y, and then we have now this interesting basket weave pattern. Again, we can go into our modifiers, add a solidify modifier just to add a little bit of thickness to it. And there you have it. We can make that look a little bit chunkier. Very cool. And then if we just grab that to compare it, and there you go. 2 awesome weaves done very, very quickly. How cool is that? Awesome. And that's it, folks. 2 awesome weaves you can now add to whatever projects you would like. If you've really enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. And if you want to learn more things like how to make things like dice trays, deck boxes, initiative trackers, and all sorts of weird and wonderful things using Blender and 3D printing, then check out my other tutorials. I've been Copper Thumb. You've been awesome. I'll see you in the next one.